Grant was born on January 18, 1904. He grew up in Bristol, England, as Archie Leach, the son of a clothing presser and a homemaker. His father, Elias, left the family for a job in Southampton, and there he took up with another woman. The couple soon had a child of their own. When he was 10 years old, Grant was told that his mother was dead while, in fact, she had been committed to an institution by his father. Devastated by the loss, Grant was basically on his own, with little support from his father. At 13, he started hanging around a local theater, where he performed a few odd jobs. Grant then took up with Bob Pender's group of traveling performers, but his first attempt at a theatrical career was cut short by his father, who demanded that he return to school. Grant got himself expelled the following year, and this time, with his father's permission, rejoined Pender's troupe. He traveled with the group for 2 years, performing in all types of acts from juggling to comedy bits to acrobatics. In 1920, Grant branched out on his own, leaving the troupe during its visit to New York City. There, he struggled to make it into show business, even working as a stilt walker for a time. By the late 1920s, Grant had made several appearances on Broadway. He got the lead part in the 1931 musical Nicky with Fay Wray, playing a soldier named Cary who fights for Ray's affections. While the production proved to be short-lived, Grant's role garnered him enough praise to land a role in a short film, Singapore Sue. Finally experiencing some studio interest, Grant decided to move out to Los Angeles. Grant landed a contract with Paramount Studios and took on a new identity. Archie Leach became Cary Grant at the studio's request. According to Hollywood legend, his first name came from his earlier stage role, and his last name from a list given to him by the studio. He made his first feature film, This Is the Night, in 1932, and more roles on the big screen soon followed. Grant starred opposite such famed leading ladies as Marlene Dietrich and Mae West. By the late 1930s, Grant had become an established leading man in Hollywood. He appeared in a range of movies, from war dramas to mysteries to comedies. His career, however, reached new heights starting in 1937 with Topper. In this screwball comedy, Grant played a sophisticated spirit who, along with his late wife, decides to haunt an old friend. He had a gift for both physical humor and comic timing. Grant made some of his greatest films around this time. Such comedies as The Awful Truth, 1937, with Irene Dunne, and The Philadelphia Story with Katharine Hepburn and Jimmy Stewart have become classics. In many of his roles, Grant played a similar type, a man with wit and polish. He did, however, occasionally try to defy the audience's expectations of him. He played a potentially lethal husband opposite Joan Fontaine in the 1941 thriller Suspicion, which marked his first film with director and master of suspense Alfred Hitchcock. In Penny Serenade, 1941, Grant balanced humor with grief as a husband who experiences both joy and heartbreak in his marriage. His work in the film netted him an Academy Award nomination. By the early 1940s, Grant became one of the first actors to land status as a free agent, choosing not to be under contract to one of the many film studios that ruled Hollywood at the time. Instead, he picked his own parts, becoming increasingly selective about what roles he'd take. One of his first decisions as a free agent was to appear in another Hitchcock film, 1946's Notorious, starring opposite Ingrid Bergman. Grant played an American agent on the trail of some neo-Nazis. Around this time, Grant also appeared in several comedies, including 1947's The Bachelor and The Bobby Soxer, and 1949's I Was a Male War Bride. Two of Grant's most memorable later roles had him once again working with Hitchcock. He played a reformed criminal accused of a robbery he didn't commit in 1955's To Catch a Thief. In the film, Grant starred opposite Grace Kelly. Hitchcock then put Grant through his paces in 1959's North by Northwest. As an advertising man who gets mixed up in murder and espionage, his character is on the run from sinister forces and battling for his life for much of the movie. Grant also teamed up with Audrey Hepburn for the 1963 humorous and romantic thriller Charade, which gently poked fun at the genre. For his final film, Walk, Don't Run, 1966, he had moved from romantic lead to mature matchmaker in this comedy. Grant retired from filmmaking after this movie. After walking away from acting, Grant still appeared in public. He became a director of the Fabergé company and served as the fragrance firm's brand ambassador, traveling around to promote its products. Grant received numerous honors for his contributions to film in his later years, including a Special Academy Award in 1970 for his unique mastery of the art of screen acting. In 1981, he earned the prestigious Kennedy Center Honor for Career Achievement in the Performing Arts, alongside such greats as Helen Hayes and Count Basie. Grant agreed to a special public appearance in Davenport, Iowa on November 29, 1986, but he never made it to the theater that night. He suffered a fatal stroke in his hotel room. As he had in life, Grant continued to seek privacy after his death. No public funeral was held for the great star, but many who knew him expressed their grief over his passing.